Good morning and welcome to Redeemer Lutheran Church. I'm Pastor Gary Lodeholt. I think Jesus enjoyed being around children. He encouraged people to bring children to him and even spoke of how much their open trust is a model for how we should trust in God. So, in this week following Christmas, we are looking at the Christmas story through the eyes of a child by retelling the story through the use of children's Bible stories. When I was growing up, I was a big fan of Arch books and learned many Bible stories from them. They still publish Arch books, but modern ones are shorter than the ones I grew up with. However, since I still have those books I grew up with, I'm using the longer stories from the 1960s. Today's story tells part of the Christmas story we don't pay attention to very often. The story of Joseph and Mary and the baby Jesus fleeing from King Herod. It's called The Secret Journey. Sleep on, baby Jesus, God's great gift of love. All angels of heaven are watching above. As Mary in Bethlehem sings to her son, Joseph is resting, his day's work well done. Both Mary and Joseph think back with delight to the things they have seen since that first Christmas night. Their thoughts are of shepherds who heard angels sing and came to the stable to see Christ their King. They think about wise men who followed a star and brought costly treasures from countries afar. These wise men had promised the King of the Jews, "Will find this new ruler and bring you the news." But God warned the wise men, "You must not obey. Go home to your countries by some other way." The king in Jerusalem raged to his court, "The wise men have tricked me. They did not report about this new king born in Bethlehem town. Destroy this new ruler who threatens my crown." An angel appeared before Joseph that night to give him a warning that filled him with fright. "King Herod is angry as can be. You must go to Egypt. Rise up now and flee." Then Joseph woke Mary. She quickly arose to pack food and water, his tools and their clothes. The soldiers of Herod had entered the gate. Could they escape Herod, or was it too late? The soldiers were coming with swords at their side. "I hear them," said Joseph. "Come quickly and hide." They hid in the shadows. The soldiers passed by. But then baby Jesus gave out a soft cry. One soldier said, "Listen, what is that I hear?" "It's only a lamb's cry. The sheep are quite near." They fled for their lives all that night and next day, but Egypt was still a long distance away. They crossed over desert land mile after mile before they reached Egypt, the land of the Nile. In a sun-dried brick house, very humble but new, the family lived and the child grew and grew. They lived here in Egypt until that glad day when they could return to their country to stay. One day, a spice caravan came into view. "Let's stop them," said Joseph, "and find out what's new." The cameleer told them some news very sad. King Herod did something quite wicked and bad. All around Bethlehem, as Herod willed, all 2-year-old boys and those younger were killed. This very sad news made them thankful that they were safe here in Egypt. They knelt down to pray. Soon an angel of God came to Joseph and said, "It's safe to return now. King Herod is dead." The family said their goodbyes and set forth to go back to Bethlehem, far to the north. This journey was different. Jesus could walk. He also asked questions, for now he could talk. "What is that?" he asked as he pointed his hand to a very large pyramid built on the sand. Then things they had known before came into sight. "We'll stop here," said Joseph, "and rest for the night." He said to some shepherds, "Who rules in this land?" They answered, "King Herod's son now has command." "King Herod's son," Joseph repeated with fear. He lowered his voice, for some soldiers were near. "We must leave this Judea. It's not safe to stay. We'll go back to Nazareth, our hometown, this day." Their old friends and neighbors welcomed with joy Mary and Joseph and Jesus the boy. Thanks for watching, and remember to let this day belong to God.